Hello friends, as you know, now I have a lot of my bobbins coming, and I need to somehow put them into operation and use my old Mojoton machine for its intended purpose. It didn't quite cope with the task of fast winding, because it only had one wire winding chuck installed. I tried to make a 2-bobbin chuck, but there are always some errors. There's some kind of beating, so I started a general upgrade of this machine. I have studied many units of machines that are now on the market, modern machines, CNC machines and vintage ones, how they and their mechanical part are designed. And I realized that they used to wind the bobbins with their left foot, so to say. There were a lot of errors, and it becomes clear why the PAFs are so different. I came up with the upgrade of this machine to be able to control these errors. So if I need them, I make them. If I don't, I simply don't. I recently upgraded it, made a tailstock. I made the tailstock more accurate to wind 2 coils at once, 2 wire guides, 2 tensioners. But the thing is that this machine, is a fairly cheap one, although I like it for its convenience. He has a Gauss meter here. There are minimal settings that I need. There is a wire guide, which I myself has already designed specifically for this machine. And actually, it winds the PAF sensors exactly according to the technology that was used in the 50s. Of course, now there are quite a lot of CNC machines with CNC layout of winds and computer control. But to be honest, in my case, when I wind only PAF, the CNC is not as important to me as the reproduction of the full winding technology, namely in controlled chaos. And I thought that it would be nice to make even more accurate centering without beating, and leave the guide to be mechanical. I design and draw, and I think by the beginning of next week I will order the main parts from Kirill. He has a CNC machine, and he's gonna provide me with the basic details and the mechanics, all sorts of linear guides, all these little things, springs and stuff. I will order from AliExpress and assemble myself such a machine on the basis of this Mojoton machine. So it's going to transmit torque by belt drives from its shaft. Torque will be issued to a common shaft from which separately to each coil using a belt drive. That's my idea. It's gonna get a little bigger, something like this. But this block will remain, and the wire guide will remain. Well, it's time to change it up a bit. I think every time something interesting will turn out. This is how it looks like. Let's say this is the shaft of my machine, to which the torque is transmitted, and already from the main shaft goes to each bobbin. Each bobbin has its own belt, and they seem to work independently of each other in terms of centering. That's the idea. 3 of these elements are here. In the future, it will be possible to put an additional 4th if I need it. The machine is almost ready. It will wind 4 bobbins at once. It's going to have, well, already has a common wire distribution that distributes the turns. It also remained mechanical, as in vintage machines. It's not CNS, but this 4-bobbin module fits very well with this popular Mojoton machine. 2 wire tensioners, I have Chinese ones, intended for wire, and 2 of my old ones which I made myself and which in fact turn out to be no worse than these factory ones. So I'm gonna use them. It still remains to grind the correct setting chucks for this machine. They will be very versatile. It's going to be possible to install any bobbins there. Modern, vintage, single coil, absolutely anything. It's going to be a universal tweak. So that's how I did it, and what comes out of it you're gonna see in this video. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, ring the bell, not to miss the release of new videos. And of course, subscribe to my Patreon, where the video is released in the full version with absolutely detailed descriptions of all my actions. And there are so many other delicious things waiting for you there. I also remind you that I have Instagram, where there are a lot of beautiful photos of guitars that Rodion Kavinking makes for me. And also I have TikTok, where I'm currently collecting 1,000 subscribers in order to be able to broadcast live from the workshop. So subscribe. Links will be in the description. I'm waiting for you on my Instagram and TikTok accounts. And now I'm gonna show you how I made this machine. Let's go!
Работает.
Well, it's time to check how everything works. In practice, first of all, we need to pass the start wire through the hole in the wall of the chuck. We fix the coil and fix the wire at the end with a tape. Everything is quite convenient and easy. Coils are perfectly fixed and centered. And I thought so that we don't even need any tailstock or any rear center. It's simply useless here. Just because of the absence of these back centers and because of the good width of the machine. There is a sufficiently large distance between the mountain chucks and nothing interferes with the installation by hands. Well, the moment of truth. Let's go. Well, the coils are wound and wound very well. To be honest, I did not even expect such a good result, because, the machine has been assembled almost from scratch, assembled for the first time in my life, and it works very well, because there is no vibration of the wire, it does not fly apart. It's wound very evenly. Where necessary, I can control everything. It's just wonderful. At the same time, charging the coils and winding takes only 20 minutes. Well, friends, everything is ready. And finally, I can start this machine to try out how it all works. And it works, I'll tell you, very, very well. I'm pretty delighted with how it all works, because the control is very precise. The bobbins fit very well. Well, it's just my dream that came true. Therefore, soon, I think there'll be more pickups. They will be even better, because I will have more control over those subtle parameters that greatly affect the sound and harmonics. And I think the first batch will be at a good discount. So follow me on Instagram, they'll be there first. Thank you for your views, my patrons. Thank you so much for your support. Well, now, until we meet again, I say goodbye to you, but not for long.
Rock and roll for all.